Most people think silence is empty. They think nothing is happening. That is exactly why it scares them. Silence removes certainty, and certainty is what makes people feel safe. Words explain. Words soften. Words give the mind something to hold on to. Silence gives nothing. From an early age, we are taught to speak, to respond quickly, to explain ourselves, because silence feels uncomfortable. But discomfort is not weakness. Discomfort is pressure, and pressure reveals truth. When you stop speaking, people start thinking. When you stop reacting, people start projecting. They imagine what you might be thinking. They assume what you might do next. They create stories in their own mind, and most of those stories are worse than reality. This is why silence feels threatening. It forces the other person to face themselves. When someone talks too much, they control the narrative. But when you say nothing, the narrative collapses. There is nothing to respond to, nothing to argue with, nothing to manipulate, and that creates anxiety. Most people cannot tolerate silence. Silence exposes insecurity. They believe silence is passive. They believe silence means submission. They believe silence means you have nothing to say. In reality, silence often means restraint. It means you are choosing not to speak. It means you are observing instead of reacting. It means you are in control of your impulses. And self-control is one of the most intimidating traits a human can have. Think about it. A person who reacts emotionally is predictable. A person who explains themselves is readable. A person who fills every pause is exposed. But a person who remains silent cannot be easily categorized. They do not give away information. They do not reveal intention. They do not rush to prove anything. Silence creates distance, and distance creates authority. This is why silence has always been associated with power. Judges speak last. Leaders choose their words carefully. Those at the top rarely feel the need to fill the room with noise. They let silence work for them, because silence shifts pressure outward. The moment you stop reacting, the other person feels responsible for the tension. They begin to explain themselves. They begin to reveal more than they planned. Silence forces honesty. This is also why silence breaks manipulation. Manipulation requires emotional reaction. A person who cannot be provoked cannot be controlled. It means silence is a tool, and like any powerful tool, it must be used intentionally. Silence is not about ignoring others. It is about mastering yourself. The next time someone tries to pressure you, pause. Do not explain immediately. Let the moment breathe. The pressure shifts. The dynamic changes. Control slowly returns to you. Silence does not dominate by force. It dominates by absence. It simply exists. An existence without explanation is a form of power. Do you use silence as strength, or do you rush to fill every pause? Be honest with yourself. Comment one word below. Yes, if you understand. Subscribe to Mind After Dark.